Alright you guys, what's going on? So today in this video, we're going to be talking about 4 main rods that I'm going to be using tomorrow. So Saturday, which will be the day you guys are watching this, I am going to be going fishing. And I'm going to be fishing the same pond I was last time. And I'm going to be fishing with my cousin, the same person that was in my last video. And I've got some new baits and some other things that I didn't bring last time that I'm going to bring this time that I have already rigged. So first we're going to talk about the Baitcasters first. I have 2 Baitcasters and 2 spinning reels. These are going to be the main 4 rods that I bring. I don't know if I'm going to bring my big Swimbait rod. I probably won't, just because I haven't used it very much the last few times, and I probably won't bring the fly rod either because I haven't used it much the last few times either. Plus, the pond that we're fishing is in a field, so the wind that is not too bad around here, you know, in the woods area, is going to be a little bit worse there. So I probably will just leave the fly rod here as well. But anyway, so this rod here is the Shakespeare Agility reel with the 50-pound braid on the Rhino Indestructible Glow Tip rod. This is a what does that say? This is a 6-foot medium action rod, and it is for lures from 1/8 ounce to 5/8 of an ounce. This is a 1/2 ounce. This is a 1/2 ounce black or blue olive jig with a black Doc's Lures Mud Bug on it with 50-pound braid. I'm going to fish this just about like any other jig that I would normally fish. I'll swim it some. I'll, bounce off the bottom. I'll flip it around brush if I can find some. I'll do just about everything with this rod because this jig is kind of like a hybrid jig. You can do just about everything with it. So that's what I'm going to do with this setup. Let me set this over here. We'll go ahead and grab the other Baitcaster here. So the other Baitcaster, I'm going to try to fish with a lot more of my own baits. If you all don't know, I have my own bait company. It's called Doc's Lure Company. I make soft plastic baits, crawls like you've seen on that jig, swim baits like you're going to see here, soft plastic jerk baits, stick baits. I make frogs and all kinds of other things as well. So on the other Baitcaster, I'm going to be throwing this swim bait here. This is a Doc's Lures 4-inch gray colored swim bait on a 6. Is this 6? No, this is a 7/0 1/2 ounce belly weighted swim bait hook. A little bit overkill on the hook, honestly. It is a little bit overkill, but I wanted this to have a little bit more weight to it. That way I could cast it a bit farther. Because sometimes when you're throwing swim baits a little bit lighter like that, you need a little bit more weight. And I was not going to throw it on a jig head just because this pond has a lot of really stringy kind of grass. And a jig head is just going to get caught in that so quick. And I think that even though it's got a weight on the bottom, I think it'll still come through it pretty decently. So, pretty excited about that. This setup is the Shakespeare Alpha Rod and Reel Combo, and it's got 15-pound Berkeley trilene on it. If I'm going to recommend any line to y'all, it's either going to be Berkeley trilene or spider wire braid. Those are just the main lines I throw. If I throw anything else, it's probably going to be like that Zebco Omniflex, I think it's called. It's like $2 at Walmart. It's at like almost every Walmart ever. So, I mean, that would be the only other line that I throw. And that's mainly for like rods that you don't exactly care too much about. You don't use them a lot, but you throw them on there every once in a while. So, we'll go ahead and go to the spinning rods next. First spinning rod, this is my Texas rig rod. And I got 15-pound, it's either 15 or 20-pound braid, I don't remember because I didn't put it on here. And this is a Matsuo rod. Now, Matsuo also makes lures. They're not exactly the best of quality. I had a Matsuo frog. Actually, I caught my first ever frogfish on a Matsuo frog. And it held up decently. It's not as good as like a Spro or a Strike King. But, I mean, it was $2.50 versus a $7 frog. So I mean, you can't exactly hope for, or you can't exactly get mad over catching a fish, because I think I caught like a dozen fish overall on it. But now we're getting over into that. So anyway, on this rod I have a Texas rig. Like I said, it's a pegged 1/4 ounce weight with 3/0 EWG hook. And this is a Doc's Lures Green Pumpkin stick worm. And it is a little bit thinner, and it's got a lot more square to it, and it gives it a lot more action, which I really like with this specific worm design. And another thing that I might do with this rod is I might bring some night crawlers and throw them on this hook with just a weight like that and cast it out in the middle and see if I can't get a catfish or two. Because there is some yellow-bellied bullhead catfish. I personally have never caught one. I never thought about it because, you know, I just never thought about it. But I've personally never caught one. So I might just have to bring some. I probably will, honestly, just because, you know, I want to scratch a bucket list fish off of the, well, it's not really a bucket list fish, but I want to scratch a new species because I've never caught it, and everyone loves catching new species of fish. So I'll probably do that. And I know these ponds have a lot of yellow bullhead in it because my cousin caught one on a Houdini shad last time I was there. So next, this is going to be a really cool and fun challenge, but it's probably going to give me a headache. So y'all know that last time I was there, I done some really, really good fishing with a double rig, which is 2 flukes and 2 hooks. Just a little bit, one is a little bit further down than the other, right? Okay, so this time I decided to have the same thing, basically. You know, there's the first fluke. Oh, there's the second fluke, but y'all see this right here in between them, right? The little barrel swivel. That's right, because I now have 3 flukes rigged up on this. Now, the 2 of them, the 2 upper flukes, this one here is an Arkansas Shiner Zoom Super Fluke. This one here is a Pro Blue colored Super Fluke. And this one here is a Doc's Lures Dropshot Minnow in a clear plastic blue glitter, blue flake, whatever you want to call it, setup. So this is a very, very, very different rig. I've never seen anybody else fish with this. It's going to be a bit of a challenge because they all basically weigh the same. So I think that the worst part of it is not going to be catching fish on it. I honestly think that's probably going to be the more easy part of it, is actually catching the fish. But I think that the hardest part of it is probably going to be the casting. I'm a little bit worried about the casting because this is overall, it is a 40-inch, not 14, 40-inch rig. It has 40 inches from the eyelet of the first fluke to the tail of the second fluke, or the third fluke, excuse me. So, yeah, it is going to be a challenge, but I don't think that it's going to be super duper hard. I think that once I figure out how to cast it decently, I believe that I can actually do pretty good with it. Once I figure out the way to cast it and the way to work it. So 40 inches, whoops, if you don't know, it is 3 and 4 inches. 3 foot 4 inches. That's how long the rig is. So yeah, it is not going to be easy. I think that once I figure out how to cast it properly and figure out how to cast it without getting it tangled up, I think it's going to be a breeze, honestly, because it's got 3 opportunities to catch a fish. It's got, you know, double the opportunity to catch 2 at once. And it's got, you know, possibility of hooking up with 3. That would be absolutely insane. Catching 3 bass at once. They'd all be pulling different directions. That would be super duper cool. The only thing that I hope doesn't happen, which would be awesome if it did, but I believe I just break off instantly, is hook 3 big fish. Because if I hook 3 3-pounders, that's basically fighting 1 9. Which, I mean, honestly, I think that fighting 1 9-pounder would be easier than 3 3-pounders. Because 3 3-pounders are going to be going all different directions. You got one pulling left, one pulling right, and one pulling straight down. You know, you're going to be in a pickle. But, you know, I know for a fact that 10-pound Berkeley trilene is some tough, tough line. I mean, I've pulled a boat to shore with it because I had it snagged in a tree. I literally pulled a boat to shore with it. So, I mean, I think it's going to work. I think the hardest part, like I said, like 12 times already, is going to be casting. But, who knows? I could completely and utterly destroy the bass with it. Might just completely wash out and not catch anything with it. You never know if you don't try. And you don't grow to be old and wise without being young and stupid. You know, that's just a fact. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you smash the like button. And make sure you let me know if you're going fishing this weekend. Who knows? Maybe we'll all catch some fish. That'd be awesome. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.